أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله الكبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. Again, we are eternally grateful to God for giving us this opportunity, and this occasion is not by accident. It's not arranged because we are smarter than everybody else. It's by divine design. It's all of it is coming from God, and He has bestowed upon us this huge favor. And God is the one who is doing us a favor in this way, and so we should be given all of the thanks and appreciations to God, and have to consider that all the time, and make sure that we have it in the forefront of our minds and our hearts and our eyes. Again, gratefulness and appreciativeness is a godlike quality, and we should follow His path, and we should be worthy of the honor that is bestowed upon us. Remember, He made us vicegerents on the land, and so He has given us the custody of this whole thing, and so we should be. Remember, the angels, they wanted that actually. They said, "Are you sure this guy? This guy is, he's basically in their mind we're not qualified." Okay, but God, in spite of all of that, He said, "No, I know something you do not know," and He gave him the reason for that. And again, I go back to that. That shows the level of tolerance that God has, that a lot of world leaders don't have. Okay, they don't want anybody to talk against them. And here's God, okay, the all-powerful, the almighty, the all-gracious, the all-merciful, and He allows His creation to talk back at Him, okay, question His wisdom. Can you imagine that? Okay, learn a little bit. Okay, all of those leaders out there, learn a little bit from this, from that parable that God brings in chapter 2 in the Quran, and is also in the Old Testament. Okay, so learn from that, who God is. Okay, anyway, so He put us in charge here. God says He put David as a vicegerent on the earth. Okay, that's what David was. David was God's substitute, if you will. And so he has to act in that way. Okay, so that's the idea. So we should be grateful for that honor that God has bestowed upon us. Okay, and don't long to be an angel. So a lot of people want to do. Okay, so wrong. It's the wrong attitude. Okay, so anyway, so we have to be grateful to God for that. Okay, so what I wanted to start today and learn from this, okay, that God says that He is the all-forgiver. That's what God says. Chapter 40 is called Forgiver. Okay, we don't forgive. We take vengeance. We would like to strike fiercely. We don't care that our actions could have consequences. We don't care. Please mute yourself. Very good. Okay. So we were interrupted, and okay. So we have to make sure that we understand that who God is. God is forgiver. Okay, and He forgives. And so There's a saying that says, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Okay? We as humans, we make all kinds of mistakes. If God didn't forgive us, we would be in real trouble. Chapter 25, verse 70, God says that if you repent, all of your bad deeds are going to be converted into good deeds. See how far God goes to forgive those sins? That's why we love God. That's why God is popular. Let's put it that way. Everybody knows who God is, regardless if you're a disbeliever or a believer. Okay? That's amazing. Just think about it. When you say God, they could punch you in the face, and they say, well, it's separation of church and state and this and that, the others, okay? But they all know God, okay? God is. There's nothing they can do about it. Okay? So that's why. Because He forgives. So what have we seen from not forgiving somebody? Think about it, okay? You remember turning the other cheek? Can you imagine that? Do you understand the gravity of that statement? Turn the other cheek means don't take revenge. Let him empty out his wrath upon you. God will help you. Okay? Remember the equivalence? Equivalence has been decreed for you. An eye for an eye. Okay? But God says if somebody forgives, God likes that better. Okay? Jesus understood that. That's why He said turn the other cheek. Don't let me take a revenge. That thing is going to bring more misery upon you. If you forgive, you become the darling of everybody. If you don't, okay, you are taking petty vengeance, and that is not going to bring you happiness. This is who God is. God is teaching us these lessons, and we don't learn. We refuse to learn. We are not worthy of the title that God gave us. Okay? Vicegerent. Okay? I am appointing a vicegerent, or I am the appointer of vicegerent on the land. We're not worthy of that. We have failed. We have actually, what we have done is we have proven Satan right. Can you imagine the extent of this crime, this kind of thinking, this kind of attitude? This is amazing. Just think about it a little bit. Okay? Satan was the only guy, all of these angels, okay, that God says no one knows the number of his soldiers except he. Okay? Can you imagine that? How large his creation is? It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, so in this way, okay, some people understood it, and some people, a lot of people do not understand it. Okay? So we are not worthy of that title. We have failed it. We missed it, what it means. Okay? It's absolutely amazing. Boggles the mind. Learn from God. If he wanted to punish everyone, God says, if I wanted to punish everyone for their sins, not a single creature would be alive. Okay? That's amazing. We all made mistakes. And again, that is another divine divine attribute that God has given us. Okay? That we should be acting like somebody who is worthy of that title. Unfortunately, we don't. And so every one of us, okay, and we've gone through this, and we said it, and God has told us about this, okay? And He has given us this absolute freedom. And so we cannot abuse it. We have to make the right decision. Some of the decisions we make are the wrong decisions, and they are there too, right in front of us. We cannot. God advises not to take that path because we fail. You know, a lot of people look for titles and things like that, and wealth and honor and all kinds of stuff in this worldly life. God has already given us that. So every one of us, it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't make any difference. Okay. The believing Egyptian, he was a Khalifa, he was a vicegerent on the earth. He was all by himself. He had no worldly power as far as everything was concerned. But who was more dear to God? Think about it. Okay? Was he more dear to God or Pharaoh? Pharaoh had all the powers. So which was the vicegerent? Think about it. Okay? Was Pharaoh was vicegerent? Obviously not. See, but he didn't understand that. Okay? So he acted according to his honor that God has bestowed upon him. He made the right decision. So the question is, are we making the right decision or are we making the wrong decision? So this month, as I said, it's a beautiful month. Okay? So we are going through this exercise that God has given us. Okay? And He said, do this. And so we cheerfully accept it. And we go through this month, okay? We become in charge of our bodies. We do not give in to the most basic need of the body, which is eating and drinking for the day. Okay, during the night you can do it. So that idea of being in charge of your body is huge. That you do not give in to the desire of your body. Did you know what the function of those things are? The function of these are things that serves God. You do this because they serve God. And God, who knows all, He tells us this is what you should do. And so we should take Him at His word and do not ask any question and go about our business and do this. Okay? So, were the angels right when they said that? No, obviously not. Did God punish him? No. He only punished when the stuff that was going there became an untruth. Became something which is not coinciding, okay, with the truth. Is not congruent with the truth of the universe. With the truth who is God. That was the time that there was no returning from that point. So we don't want to get to that point. Okay? And God advises us about that. He instructs us how to avoid it. Okay? And anything else that you do, as I said, to err is human and to forgive is divine. Okay? So learn that. And see if you are capable of doing that. If you're capable of forgiving, okay, people who have done you wrong in the past, whoever they may be, doesn't matter, doesn't make any difference. Okay? If you can do that, okay, you have achieved your title that God has given you. Because that's what He does. That's what God does. Okay. I'm going to stop here and we'll finish this unit. Allahu Kabir.